Hello, my name is Sadie. Welcome back to my channel, Yin Reiki Light. And I wanted to touch on timelines and how timelines work because I know I mentioned timelines in the last video with the sacred and soul contracts, but I didn't get enough information in about timelines, so I wanted to talk about timelines right now. So I'm a terrible drawer. I'm just warning you right now. But we as human beings think of time as linear. So we think of time being a straight line. A being the beginning, B being the middle, C being the end. But time actually truly works. It's a cycle. It's a sphere. So time is more like this. And so A might start here, and then your B is there, and then your C is here. And the thing is that we're all on our own individual timelines because of our soul contracts and because of the lessons and the soul growth and all the things that we came into Earth to learn and do. But we also are on collective timelines. So a collective timeline would be like your state or your job organization or like the United States. The United States is on a very specific collective timeline right now. The world has a collective timeline. So when it comes to people coming in and out of your life and sacred contracts and soul contracts being renegotiated, a lot of the timelines right now, so say you're in separation, I'll use twin flames again. Say you're in separation with your twin. And this is you. Do a quick sphere. And this is your twin. You guys are parallel to each other because you're mirroring each other's energy and you're mirroring each other, but you're not at the convergence point. You have to both kind of branch into each other's energy to kind of converge. And again, I'm the worst drawer, I apologize. So that's where, sorry, there it is. So twin, you, and then there has to be this convergence point for you both to be on the same timeline and start your own kind of timeline together, okay? So what you're seeing right now is that people who have been separated are now starting to take the steps. Life is restructuring. The world is restructuring. Things are shifting in and out so that you can both meet up at the convergence point that you've both decided on would be the best for you and the highest good for you in your relationship. So then you can be on this collective timeline together. So why this is important is because with soul contracts, we all get together. I kind of mentioned this a little bit in the last video, but we all truly get together and decide who's going to do what, who's going to play what role, who's going to be on this timeline at this time, then who's going to shift out of this timeline and go to a different timeline. If you're currently on an ascension path, you're shifting into a higher timeline. But just because you're shifting into a higher timeline doesn't mean that everybody else around you is shifting into a higher timeline as well. And so when you decide to shift, everybody else has to change too, but they're not necessarily changing along with you. They're changing along their own path what's best and highest for them. The timelines, though, often do merge and converge back together. So again, if there's, a situation where you are meant to be in union with your twin, it's going to happen. It's just not going to happen necessarily in a way that you can control. And you have to release the timing of it, because when you try to force or control the energy, number one, you can't. It's impossible to do it. But also, number two, you actually you create restrictions to the flow of energy. And so you can impede or slow down the process by trying to force it. The analogy that they gave me was, think of like your ego as, because it's only the ego that wants to force things. It's only the ego that wants to control things. Your higher self understands that everything is in divine and perfect order, that you're exactly where you're meant to be. But the ego is like the little kid in the backseat of the car saying, are we there yet? 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 And then they're driving you crazy. So you have to kind of realize that when you're in that sort of desperation, insistent, obsessive, has to be now mode, that's your ego. And you just have to take a deep breath, take a step back, and say to your ego, no, we're not there yet. We'll be there when we're there. You'll know when we're there. Relax, calm down, and take it easy. So that's kind of what I wanted to say about the timelines. There's a lot of timeline shifts right now. A lot of twins, though, will come into union this year because they're meant to, because this is a pivotal year for the ascension of humanity and where everyone is going to go individually and collectively. But if you don't come into union this year, like I mentioned in the other video, it is truly for the best and highest good, because a win-win situation is being set up for you and your twin. Okay? All right. I hope that clarified some of the timeline stuff. Have a blessed day. Take it easy. Bye-bye.